Hey, what's up, my friend? So, welcome back to this month's market analysis, right? I'm going to share with you the best trading opportunities for October. So, in videos like this, right, I share with you my thought process, right, to why I'm entering a trade, how I enter, where I exit, and stuff like that. And also, I share with you my winners, my losers, and hopefully, right, you can learn something from it. So this is something that I actually publish each week in Pro Trader Sage. If you're interested, I'll share more details with you later. But for now, let's get started. So the first market that I am looking at this month, right, is actually New Zealand Canadian. Why is that, right? If you look at this chart, New Zealand Canadian, okay, you zoom out a little bit, you can see that this market is overall in a downtrend, series of lower highs and lower lows. So I know the trend is down. Okay, the trend is down. The trend is down. Great. So now the second question I always like to ask myself is, where is the area of value on the chart? Where is a level or area on the chart where I want to short this market? So I'm looking at this, right, and I kind of realized that this market is in a healthy trend. If you pull out the 50 MA, it tends to, respect the 50 period moving average, right? Bounce once, came down lower, second time, bounce lower, and right now it's approaching back this area of value once again. And you can see that this area of value also coincides with this swing high. Okay, so previous support became resistance and could become resistance again around the 15 period moving average. So this to me is an area of value that I want to be trading from. I want to short around this area. So from the looks of things, right, a possible trading setup that could happen is that on the lower time frame, right, you can see that the 2-hour time frame, let me just get rid of the 50 MA. The 2-hour time frame, it seems to be, going into somewhat of a range over here at this point, right? Market makes a pullback, stage a rally, then a little bit of a slight pullback, and right now it's still, between the highs and these lows over here. So my bias, as I've mentioned, right, I'm looking to short this market, and one possible, right, entry setup that could present itself is that the market makes another lower high, right, retesting back this swing low. So you get something like a descending triangle. You have a series of lower highs coming into this area of support. So if I do get a breakdown, right, if I get this lower highs into support, I get a breakdown, I'll be looking to short this market and have my stop loss 1 ATR above this highs over here. Okay, the ATR value is based on the daily time frame ATR, and the reason is simple, right? If you look at the daily time frame, I don't want to set my stop loss just above this highs because the market could just consolidate, right? Trigger my entry, goes up back higher, right? Remain in this range finally, and then it breaks down, right? So you can see that this over here, right, is within an area of value, and naturally you don't want to set your stops in an area of value. You want to set it away from market structure. So that's how I trade it. That's how I'm looking to trade it, and that's why usually you see my stops, right? It's away from market structure, away from support and resistance, not smack inside those highs and lows. Okay, so this is for New Zealand Canadian market worth watching this week. Another one to share, it's oil. Okay, oil, WTI. So you can see that over here, oil right now it seems to be somewhat of in a range. Okay, you can see that this market had a rally, right? I think over the weekend with the news, the Saudi Arabia huge spike up higher, and then after the news, it pretty much reversed back lower, back towards the lows of around $51. So you can see that it's contained within the range, right, of about $60, 65, and around this 51 level. And right now the price is at this area of value. So if you ask me, what is this current market structure right now? It's in a range, okay? And in a range, I want to buy low, sell high. So you're gonna buy support, sell resistance, and right now the price is at this area of value, at this area of support. So again, just because price is at support doesn't mean I want to buy, right? I want to see, right, where there is a sign of strength coming in, buyers coming in to push the price higher, then that's where I get on board the trade. I like to enter right after the price has already shown me, or rather after the market has tilted its hands, right, showing me that it's about to move higher. So I like to move right after the train has just taken off. I don't like to enter right when the train is still against me. So again, right, how am I going to trade this? Is again, price is at an area of value on the 2-hour time frame, right? I can look for market structure to trade off. So you can see that at this point in time, right, generally the market seems to be in equilibrium between buyers and sellers. Previously, you have a series of lower highs, okay, And at this point, right, price break above the previous swing high, and then it collapsed back down into this this range, right? So now the range, this new range, okay, looking something like a potential accumulation stage is between these highs and these lows. So needless to say, right, if I want to be buying, I like to see price, right, showing signs of strength, breaking out above this area of resistance. So what I hope to see is price comes up, might get something like a ascending triangle. Price comes up, retest down lower, higher low, like this, finally breaking out, right? If it breaks out here again, I'll be looking to buy and go long. Again, stops will be 1 ATR below this low over here. Another variation, right, of this sign of strength is price could also form a build up at a high. So price comes up higher and then form a tight consolidation. So at this point, right, it's very useful to kind of use the 20 period moving average, right? And you'll notice the 20 MA start to slope up higher, seems to be, supporting the price over here, right? So like, it's kind of like the 20 MA starting to hold and support the price. If that happens again, I'll be looking to buy the breakout of this highs. So if you just pull out your 20 MA now, it's still way below. So you can see that that hasn't happened yet, okay? So that is just a quick tip for you, right? Whenever if you want to buy breakout with a build up, you can use the 20 MA to give you like a clue, right, to when the market is, ready to break out. So this is a crude oil. So let's say I do get a trade, right? My entry trigger got triggered. How will I manage the trade? So let me talk about this. So when I manage the trade, right, I like to ask myself, right, where is the opposing pressure likely to come in? So if you're looking to buy, where on the chart, right, might sellers come in? Where would sellers look to short the market? So that's a very simple question. So from the looks of this chart, what I'm saying is that sellers could possibly be lurking at this area of resistance. So if I want to consider taking profits, right, capturing a swing, this would be a good possible target around this area to take profits. Or if I'm looking to ride a trend, right, then when the price reach this area, right, I want to maybe adopt a more aggressive, right, trailing stop loss, so I don't have to give back too much of my open profits when the price reaches this area where opposing pressure is likely to come in. Okay, so those are a couple of techniques, right, to manage your trade depending on whether you just want to capture a swing or you're hoping to ride a bigger move like riding a trend. And if you're coming to this key area, right, if you're riding a trend, you can consider tightening up your trailing stop loss so you don't give back too much open profits. Okay, so those are a couple of things to think about. And moving on, right, let's talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is actually discussed, right, in last month's market analysis, the September one. So if you like to recall what I spoke about, right, generally I was saying that this is bearish because you have a series of lower highs coming into support. Then we had a breakdown this a few weeks ago. So now what if you're not in the trade, right? So one thing I want to share with you is that a mistake, right, that many traders make is that when they see the price break down, it's so bearish, right? Something like this, right? Oh, Rayner, man, look how bearish this chart is. Rayner, it's time to go short. So they look to sell. But the problem, right, with selling at this particular point in time, even though the price looks very bearish, even though it looks like a high probability short, because look at how bearish the candle is, how big the candle is, right? The problem with this, right, is there usually isn't a logical place to set your stop loss. If you ask me, the nearest market structure to set your stop loss is at here. Previous support becomes resistance. And I don't like to just set it above it. I usually give it some buffer. So possibly it will be somewhere here. So you can see that the distance from your stop loss to your entry is going to be pretty darn wide. So this is why I always say, right, don't chase the market. Let the market come to you. So where could the market come to you? So a couple of scenarios over here. The one, right, which I think could possibly happen is that the market forms somewhat like a consolidation, right? A bear flag pattern, right? And it breaks below this lows over here, right? This lows. Let me just redraw this. It breaks below the swing low. Okay. And if that happens, right, now you can reference this highs as your market structure, this swing high as your market structure, instead of referencing this original level that you had previously. Because now new market structure has formed, you can reference the new levels, right, to set your stop loss. Okay, so this is why, it really pays, right, to be patient and let the market develop before you enter a trade instead of blindly chasing because, it feels like the right thing to do. Okay, so this is where, you can get a tighter stop loss by referencing these highs as a stop loss. Okay, so first scenario is that you could look to short the breakdown of these lows, right, as a trend continuation trade, and the market hits down lower, possibly retesting around the 6,000 level, right? It's a psychological level, the 6,000 level. You just zoom out a little bit, you can see that this 6,000 level is pretty key. Over here, the most recent one is got almost to the the area before the price had a strong rally, and previously this was the area of support just before the breakdown. So 6,000 level is definitely a level, right, worth watching. The other scenario, right, to short Bitcoin is I would say around this area, previous support and resistance, right, at this area over here. Okay, so those are a couple of areas and levels to look at for Bitcoin, right, if you want to short this market. And finally, right, just to share with you, right, it's not really a trading setup, but rather it's just a follow-up of the trade that we spoke about last month's market analysis. We talked about pound yen, right? I said I was bearish on this price, right? Again, this is stuff that have been covered, right, last month's market analysis. If you missed it, just go and watch it, right? This is stuff that was put out way beforehand. So I said something along the lines of price is in a downtrend. Okay, price is in a downtrend. Then we are at this area of value, previous support and resistance over here. Okay, so let's call this R. Trend is down and area resistance. And the entry trigger is on the lower time frame, was the 2-hour time frame. You will see that there is a break of structure over here. So at this point, okay, you have this consolidation. And at that point, you have a lower high. And when the price break right below this area of support, right, you now have a lower high and lower low. So this tells you, right, that the buyers, they are losing, their strength, right? The sellers are starting to take control. That's why you have a series of lower high and lower low. And on top of it, right, recall, right, the trend, higher time frame is in a downtrend and you're trading from an area of value at resistance. So to me, this is a valid trading setup to go short according to my rules, right? So I went short. Price in this case did went in my favor. And I told myself, right, that if the price were to retest this, I said that the price should at least retest this area over here where, previous resistance or swing high could become support. So once it did retest this level, now I'm looking to trail my stop loss, right, using the previous day high, which is at this level here. So if the price right now will to break and close above the previous day high, I will exit the trade. So that is a trade management technique that I'm using, right, to see how far the price can still go in my favor. I have no idea how far it'll go. Maybe you can retest this area of support. Maybe it can't. So this is why I have this so-called trailing stop loss technique to let the price show me, right, how much it wants to reward me. Make sense? Now, if you've enjoyed the market analysis, right, then I want to welcome you to join Pro Trader Sage, right? This is my premium membership, right, where you will get such market analysis every single week, right? I usually publish this type of videos on a weekend to share with you my insights of the market, the trading opportunities I'm looking at, the trades I took, and much more. So that's not all, right? Because as a Pro Trader Sage member, you get many benefits that come along with it. So for example, you have access to the backtest research lab. So this is a lab, right, where I pretty much backtest the financial markets to tell you what works and what don't in the financial markets. So we have different stuff going on. We have things that talk about stock markets, quantitative trading, and much more. So all this over here in the backtest research lab, and I regularly add in new lessons, new findings that I have in the financial markets. Then also we have the weekly trade alerts. This is basically, right, the video that you have seen earlier, but it's on a weekly basis. So every single week I publish such videos, right? So you can see my analysis, my thought process, the trades I took, and you can, shorten your learning curve and quickly, level up your trading. So you can see that, every week we publish a new video on the markets. And moving on, right, we have a forum coming soon. So for those of you who are watching this right now, the forum might already be up. Okay, so this is coming soon. We have a premium trading strategy guides. This is for you, right, especially if you enjoy reading my blog post and you want a PDF version of it. So every month we upload new PDF trading strategy guides. It's free for you to download. You can just click on it, right, and you will be brought to a PDF link, a PDF page to download it. We have a exclusive training webinars for you to to help you level up your trading, learn new trading strategies and techniques. Okay, these are exclusive webinars that you will not find elsewhere. Then we have trading books and investing books that I recommend. Trading checklist, right? So before you put on a trade, you can download this checklist to review it, right, to make sure that you're on the on the right side, on the right page, right, and not doing anything funny or silly, right? We have the proprietary trading indicators vault. This is for MT4 users. You can download all these indicators to help you with your own trading, like the MACD MT4. There's some issue with it. We have fixed it over here. We have the Donchen channel, news reporter that alerts to you, potential important news that's coming up, and much more. It's all over here in the indicator vault. And also we have the simple mean reversion trading strategy that you'll learn, right, to trade the market. So this is a very simple strategy for you to get started, especially if you do not know which strategy to go with. Start with this simple mean reversion trading strategy because it is back tested, right, to identify first and foremost which markets tend to mean revert, which markets have a mean reverting characteristics, right? Then I explained to you, right, the setup to trade this type of mean reverting markets, right? So you really have the odds in your favor, right? Applying the right trading setup in the right type of market condition. Okay, so this is a mean reverting trading strategy that anyone can learn, right? Even if you have no trading experience. So this is what you'll get, right, as a Pro Traders Edge member, right? New content are updated regularly for the Backtest Research Lab, weekly trade alerts, premium strategy guides, and much more, right? And also forum is coming up soon, so you can interact with like-minded traders. So I'll put the link below so you can check out Pro Traders Edge. And with that said, right, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you soon.